Hello there everyone, it's me, Egg, and I am here to talk to you about drafting. Now I know we've done this once before, but this time I thought it'd be a little fun if I talked about a couple of the Pokemon that are going to be on the list and give a little bit of an explanation as to what they're good at, what they might succeed in, why they could be considered a threat. So when you guys are choosing your teams, you have a couple of little hidden gems that you understand better, that you can try and go for and maybe make something out of it. And so, without wasting any more of your time, let's get started. We're starting off with a personal favorite, and that's Whimsicott. Whimsicott is Fairy Grass type, that's a wonderful typing, and I want to talk about a very specific set on Whimsicott that you might want to run, and that is Prankster. Although Infiltrator and Chlorophyll are great abilities, on Whimsicott, you want to run Prankster. Now, its stats are not that great. You can see speed at a base 116 is wonderful. Everything else is kind of middle of the pack. Prankster, however, gives you priority on all of your non-damaging moves. So that's Thunder Wave, Toxic, Leech Seed, Substitute. All of those things now have priority and are faster than almost every single other move in the game. We want to take advantage of that. By running a set like Leech Seed, Substitute, Protect, you can run something really annoying and basically out-heal everything. You essentially take no damage, and you're chipping them down slowly with Leech Seed. You throw in a U-turn, throw in a Moonblast, some grass coverage, you have a very annoying Pokemon. You don't even have to run that. You can run Toxic. Priority Toxic is crazy. Stun Spore is really fun. And its special attack, although low, is nothing to scoff at. With a wonderful speed stat, you can get people really low with your Toxic Chip, your Stun Spore, Paralysis Cheese, and just Moonblast them down. All in all, very fun Pokemon. Hydreigon is next, a very powerful Pokemon. It has wonderful stats, its special attack being monstrous, really good speed, and not a bad attack stat either, which a lot of people really underestimate. This thing is an offensive threat. It hits hard. You want to take advantage of the fact that people have weak defenses and you want to exploit that. And you can do that in many ways. If you want to go the setup game, it gets access to Nasty Plot. That's going to double its special attack, which means its Dark Pulses are going to hit like crazy. Its Draco Meteors are going to be nukes. It has wonderful coverage, Flamethrower, Earth Power, Flash Cannon. Amazing. You can also run a slightly more bulkier set if you want to run Leftovers on this thing with Substitute and Roost, probably still running Nasty Plot. And last but not least, if you don't want to set up for shit, you just want to hit like a truck, Choice Specs is really nice. And if you want to outspeed things and still hit hard, Choice Scarf goes crazy. Just remember that if you're running a choiced item, it will lock you into the first move you pick. So probably don't want to run Nasty Plot on those sets, but you never know. The only ability that Hydreigon gets is a damn good one. It's Levitate. So Levitate gives you immunity to ground-type moves. Earthquake, Earth Power, you name it, completely immune to all of those moves, which is wonderful. And finally, the last little thing I might throw in here is Hydreigon does, like I said, have a pretty good attack stat, and you can take advantage of that. It gets access to a move called Dragon Dance, which will give you +1 speed and +1 attack, and you have some pretty crazy moves that you can use off your physical attack. Not going to say it now, maybe explore that if you get this Pokemon, but Hydreigon, easily a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Oh, Magikarp has grown up so much. This is Gyarados, and it, similar to Hydreigon, is an offensive threat. This time on the physical side with a monstrous 125 attack and some pretty decent bulk to kind of let it take some hits. The abilities we're working with are Intimidate and Moxie. Intimidate is more of a defensive ability. Every time you switch this Pokemon in, it will decrease the opponent's Pokemon's attack stat by 1. This allows you to run a weirder, bulkier Gyarados set with something like Taunt or Thunder Wave or something else. While Moxie, on the other hand, this is the snowball ability. It is all about offensive power and just muscling through an enemy team. Every time you get a kill, it will increase your attack stat by 1. And since Gyarados gets access to the move Dragon Dance, like I said previously with Hydreigon, that increases your speed and your attack by 1, it is so easy to snowball. 1, 2 Dragon Dances with amazing coverage like Earthquake, Power Whip, Temper Flare. Guys, I just learned it gets access to a physical fire move. That is really, really good. Ice Fang, Waterfall, all kinds of crazy moves. This thing can get out of hand really, really quickly. And so the items normally you want to use with it, although you can run like a Choice Band or a Choice Scarf, you want to use Dragon Dance. So Heavy Duty Boots is good to avoid hazards like Stealth Rock, Life Orb for more power, Leftovers is always nice, or you can Mega Evolve this Pokemon. Since it has no good flying type stab, giving it a Mega Evolution, which gives it the Dark typing, you can kind of avoid this lack of flying and have a much different Pokemon. But Megas are a whole nother thing, and you're going to have to figure that out on your own time. For right now, we're just looking at Gyarados, and he is fun. He's good. Breloom is a really cool Pokemon. It has an awesome and really unique typing of Grass Fighting. It has an incredible attack stat, some okay other stats, but it has two amazing abilities. And the ability that you choose completely determines how you use this Pokemon. So I'm going to talk about the first one, and that's going to be Technician. Technician is a phenomenal ability that boosts the power of really weak moves. So any move that has a base power of 60 or lower gets its base power increased by 1.5. So a move like Mach Punch, which is weaker at 40 base power because its priority, is now 60 base power. With Stab, that's 90 base power, and now you have a 90 base power fighting type move with priority. And I mean, you just mop through teams. 70 speed doesn't mean anything anymore because you are hitting them with that priority move. Additionally, Breloom gets access to a move called Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed has a base power of 25, but it hits anywhere from 2 to 5 times. Now, when you combine that with an item called Loaded Dice, which guarantees all multi-hit moves to hit 4 to 5 times, Bullet Seed becomes an insanely powerful grass type move, anywhere from 120 base power to almost 150. That is insane, and it's consistent. Throw Rock Tomb in there to get a nice base 90 power rock move, and you have a wonderful offensive set. But Breloom's other ability, Poison Heal, completely flips the way you play this Pokemon on its head. Instead of going Swords Dance, which you still can, but instead of going Swords Dance and this crazy offensive, fast-paced priority move like low power equals high power, you instead go for Longevity. Poison Heal, instead of taking damage when you're poisoned, you heal 12% of your HP every single turn. That is insane. Now, Breloom may not have a lot of bulk to it, low HP, low defenses, but Poison Heal plus a move called Spore, oh my god. Spore is going to be the bane of every person in this draft. It's going to be the bane of your existence, I am telling you. Spore is a sleep move. Sleep is, you can't act for 1 to 3 turns. Most sleep moves have an accuracy of 50 or 60. Spore has an accuracy of 100. You can never miss Spore. If you invest a little bit of speed into Breloom, give it Spore, give it Substitute, give it Focus Punch, give it, I don't know, Leech Seed, something that final set, you have a fucked up Poison Heal annoying ass set. You put something to sleep turn 1, you set up a Substitute, which will basically give you 1 free hit, and then maybe you can Swords Dance. Use Focus Punch, which is a move that has insane base power, but if you take damage the turn before, it doesn't work. So put up a Substitute, now you can Focus Punch every single turn. And did I mention? You're healing 12% at the end of each of these turns. It is crazy, which, I should have said this earlier, you can hold an item called the Toxic Orb, which will just poison you. So there you go. Free poison equals free heals equals free damage equals free wins. Poison Heal is crazy. Of course, like I said, Breloom's not that bulky. Pretty easy to counter by just hitting it with any move. But offensive Technician, defensive Poison Heal, even offensive Poison Heal. So much versatility. Such a wonderful Pokemon. I love him, love him, love him. This is Tyrantrum. He is the result of one terrible Tyrant, and he is pretty simple. He kind of just is a very hard-hitting machine. Not a lot of steps, not a lot of process to it. You set up, you sweep. Now, there's two different ways you can do that, and that depends on your abilities. There's Strong Jaw, which boosts the power of your biting move. So that's Crunch. We have Ice Fang, Psychic Fang, Fire Fang. That's pretty good. You can run a bunch of these biting moves, throw on Choice Scarf, Choice Band, some sort of offensive move, maybe a Z move, and just kind of hit relatively hard. But what I recommend is Rockhead, and that's for one very, very specific reason. Now, Rockhead essentially means that any move that has recoil, you ignore that. And there is one move in particular that we are interested in, and that is Head Smash. Head Smash is a 150 base power rock type move. When you factor in stab, that's 225 base power. The downside to it is that it does half the damage you deal as recoil. You ignore that now. All you have to do is set up a couple of dragon dances and just click Head Smash over and over and over and over again. Yeah, they'll switch into a resist like a steel type or something else, but just click Close Combat or Earthquake. You have so many coverage moves here. I 100% think, especially for you, the terrible Tyrants, get your mascot. Grab this guy, put Dragon Dance on him. You don't even have to. Choice Band, Choice Scarf, both are really, really good. Throw Rockhead on there and spam Head Smash. Do it. Just do it. That's this man's motto, is just do it. And it works every single time. Most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't, but you get the idea. Tyrantrum is a machine, a head-butting, rock-smashing machine. Aegislash is a really, really weird Pokemon, because at first glance, you say, oh, okay, defensive. Those are really high defensive stats, low HP, but really bad attack stats. And you're right, that is true. In this form. When Aegislash is in its shield form, it is a defensive powerhouse. 140 defense and special defense is, so many Pokemon dream to be that bulky. But when Aegislash uses an attacking move, it'll switch into its blade form. While in its blade form, Aegislash's defensive and offensive stats switch. So now it has 140 attack and 140 special attack, which is crazy. That is higher than any other Pokemon that has been on this list so far. And since it's so slow, it means you can take a hit using your really good defenses and then switch into your offensive form and kill the guy that just tried to kill you. It is crazy. And if at any point while you're in this offensive form you think, aw man, I wish I had my bulk back. Well, first off, when you switch out, Aegislash will automatically revert to its shield form. But if you want to stay in, that's why there's a move called King Shield. King Shield works like Protect, but instead of just protecting you from things, it also turns you back into your shield mode. On top of that, if you get hit by a physical attack, you will lower the opponent's attack. So it's just a better Protect in every single way that works into this weird offensive-defensive cycle. Do you want a defensive Pokemon? Run something like Toxic with King Shield to stall out all the stuff and leftovers. You want offensive? Throw a Choice Band on that motherfucker. Use Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, all this stuff. Run Choice Specs, be special. Run both at the same time. There is so much versatility to this Pokemon, and it requires a very skilled hand to use. But if you know how to take advantage of all four of these amazing stats jumping around at the same time, then you will have a crazy, crazy good Pokemon on your team.